And welcome to another episode of Who Dares Wars TV. I am your host, Mike B. So this is the week, whatever week this is, November the 12th, I think it is today. So this is probably maybe out today, likely tomorrow. Depends how quickly I can edit it. So thought we'd just do a quick sort of bloggy thing, because we've been doing this regularly, so it's some content. So what are we doing? So we'll just touch on some, let's do some news. Board game news. So, yes, the news. What's taken, I think? So there's a couple of things Kickstarter-ish coming, things that we've seen. There's Reload, which has been announced. I don't even know who the company was, actually, but it was like a Battle Royale first-person shooter game. I think it's got minis in it. There's not very much else to go on at the moment. Set in some dystopian future. So, I mean, I always like Battle Royale. It was a great movie. If you've not seen Battle Royale, fantastic. The idea of the kids on the island, various weaponry and equipment. If you've not seen it, definitely worth tracking down that. There has been Battle Royale video games, things like Fortnite, and there was a Battle Royale something else. And there's a few of them around. There hasn't been yet, I don't think, a board game equivalent of that that's kind of captured my imagination and stuff. And it is kind of like an area which is asking for a decent sort of version of that. Maybe there is. If there is, then let me know. But yeah, so that's that. It's interesting. I don't know any more than that. There's no art. There's no nothing. There's just the thing on that. But I was like, that might be interesting. See when it comes. See how much it's going to cost, of course. So there's that. That's next year. Another thing coming next year that they've announced, because we're getting towards the end of the year now. It's November. Is Ruination from Colossal Games, which is kind of Mad Max meets Genghis Khan. It's what we know. It's very Fury Road. The art for it looks stunning. Looks really gorgeous. And very evocative of Fury Road, which is a cracking movie. And I'm astounded that didn't do as well as it should have done. I mean, Fury Road is a cracking movie. It's a fucking great movie. Let's just say it. Anyway, I've digressed. But yeah, so this very Fury Road looking art. I love Mad Max, and as you may have gathered, there's not a great many really good post-apocalyptic Mad Maxy type games. There's Dark Future from Games Workshop, which is actually a really good car combat game, but has a rule book like this, and it's written in the 80s from Games Workshop's dark times when no one really knew how to write a rule book. So it takes like a weekend to learn how to play it. You play it, you go, that's amazing, all the physics of cars, and it's brilliant. And then you put it away and you don't play it again because you open the box and go, oh my god. There's Wasteland Delivery Service, never played that, but it's more of a pick up deliver. There was Saltlands we reviewed a while ago, which is okay and kind of the post-apocalyptic feel, but nothing is yet really captured that sort of Mad Max vibe. Okay, there was Wreck and Ruin, actually, but that we had issues with. I mean, it was fun. It was vehicular combat on a board, but over two players, it just kind of didn't really work. It was kind of felt like you were playing individual games on the board. But yeah, so there's a few, but nothing yet has nailed it. So Ruination looks the bit. So we'll see what that is going to bring. There's that. What else? So there's them. So Subterra 2. We'll come back to that in a minute. But Subterra 2 is running on Kickstarter at the moment. It's got a day or so left to run. I'll come back to that in a second. And Portal on the 14th are releasing Stronghold Undead, which is actually a standalone version of the first expansion for Stronghold. So this is Stronghold second edition. Originally, Undead was released as a expansion to the original Stronghold. What they're actually doing now is bringing up Stronghold Undead, which is a standalone game which you could buy. You don't need to have the original, which pits you in a kind of like a Helm's Deep sort of battle scenario of you, the good guys behind the wall, defending against the hordes of the undead and stuff. Looks fantastic. It really just, I love the idea of the theming and the thematic. It's a very deeply thematic sort of game. The only thing that's kind of holding me back on it is it's a two-player game. And I just don't find time to play two-player games. Most of my game gatherings are at least 4 people, maybe more. I rarely get a chance to sit down and play two-player games, which is, it's sad. I mean, we've played Rebellion a few times, but they can play 4, so we've made that kind of work. Dig the idea of it. Really love the idea of the theme. Really like what it does. I love Portal stuff. I really would like to have it, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get to play it. So I'm on the fence on that. But yeah, if any of you two-player people out there, people who can play two-player games, then Stronghold Undead does look the part. It's quite a heavy sort of meaty game. But that's coming, so that's 14th of November, if that piques your interest. It does look cool. So there's that. Right, cool. That's out of the way. Don't tick those boxes. Games we've played. What's Mike played?
What's Mike played? I really want to know what Mike's played. What you played, Mike? Oh, and you other guys too.
So what have we played? So this week, well, we've been playing some more Tapestry recently, and that was I really enjoyed Tapestry. First couple of plays, I loved it, and I was almost at the point of trying to hunt down and buy a copy of it. Subsequent plays of it, the cracks have started to show. That definitely the races are unbalanced. I think there's definitely not all of them are equal. Is my feeling on it, and some of them are really not as cool as others. I still like it as a sort of civish game, tech tree sort of thing. It's engine builder. It's definitely my favourite of the Stonemaier games because I think it's got the element of random in it, which dice rolls and stuff, which none of his other stuff has. They've all very, very locked down and tight. But this one it does sound. It is interesting. I've enjoyed it. I don't know yet where I am with it. But yes, Tapestry, we played a bit of that. The weekend, we managed to get a game in of Turmoil in Terraform Mars, which you may just see catch a bit of it. It's still left set on the table because we finished very late. So we played Terraform Mars, we played with everything in, every expansion. So that was Turmoil, Colonies, Prelude, and Venus, which I don't understand what Venus does really. But yeah, so with all of that was in, we played that. Turmoil was very interesting. It's an idea, it adds a political side to it where you've got these different parties vying for control to give you sort of powers or bonuses in the following round, and also like global events that happen that usually penalise certain routes down. The expansion is very good. It's a real adds quite a deep level of think to the game. I like what it was doing. It's a whole sort of it's quite a meaty little bit, but once you're actually playing with it, it kind of makes sense. The issue I had, we had a 4-player game. Now Tony was playing, or as I like to call him, is Sergeant AP, and the game did go on for about 5 hours, which whilst at no point during the playing of it was I like got bored. It did go on 5 hours. Now some of that is Tony, who's just seems his AP has reached terminal levels of velocity now. So it did drag on a bit. And Captain Mulligan was there as well, Robbie, who will constantly just retake another turn. I meant to do this last turn. Yeah, that was a whole round ago. But yeah, back to Turmoil. Very good, very solid expansion, really good. The issue I have is that a game of Terraform Mars that takes as long as a game of Twilight Imperium is a problem for me. Whether that is down to issues outside of the board game, but I'm not sure all of it as one whole is actually something that you can do very often. I might well try and get a game of Turmoil and strip out Colonies and Venus. Prelude, not so much an issue, and see if that kind of tightens it up a bit, and maybe trim the deck of some of the cards that are causing maybe some of the brain fart issues. But yeah, Turmoil, it's solid, it's interesting. I like that it's doing a bit of area control in there. I like that it's got the world events that are causing you to think ahead of the game that may penalise you for where you've gone. And we've only touched the sides of it because the idea of obviously is you can control parties, you can put your delegates in to essentially lobby for certain policies or parties to gain power. Does like a really deep, interesting sort of thing to it. And it did. I'm getting really warm. I'm going to disrobe myself. So yeah, we've only had one play of it so far. I think some people's concerns that it was going to add a length to the game is a possibility. I think it is it's a solid expansion. I think last time we said it was penultimate. I believe this is it actually. Was the final sort of capstone on the Terraforming Mars expansion run. So the Turmoil, I don't know, we really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I like what it did. I like all of what it's doing. It definitely adds a lot more to think about in the game. Some of the new corporations and cards are quite interesting. Not played obviously with all those yet. Do you need it? I don't know. At the moment, as I stand, as I say, we're going to do a review of Terraforming Mars and break down all the expansions at some point soon. At the moment, definitely, of all them that exist at the moment, Prelude is a no-brainer because it doesn't add much to the game. Venus, Venus doesn't really do much. I don't see the point of Venus, to be honest with you. Maybe some of the cards are interesting, but Venus seems the one that is a total forgettable expansion. I don't think you need it in your life at all. Colonies is quite interesting, and again, I like Colonies is a thing, but they all had weight. So anyway, I've rambled, but yes, Turmoil was interesting. It's definitely added. I keep saying interesting. It was very interesting. It added definitely some meat to the game. But whether that is at the detriment of what I did enjoy about Terraforming Mars, which was a game that was quite simplistic actually, with only a couple of actions each round and you playing a game very fast, whether it is now taking it into that much heavier end, and is it actually conflicting with the good bits of what made Terraforming Mars so lovely for us? Thoughts for the day. So anyway, there we go, Turmoil. If you're a Terraforming Mars fan, then you're going to probably buy it anyway. But yes, I would caveat with that, be aware, it's potentially adding, especially the box is about half hour per player, so an hour extra seems likely. Teaching's not too bad on it once you're actually running. As I say, the rulebook, when I first read it, was like, oh, Jesus, this looks quite heavy. But once you're actually using it and it's running, it's relatively straightforward. And within a round or two, we pretty much nailed what was going on. But yeah, so there's that. Anyway, rambling over. Turmoil was interesting. I've said interesting again. It's a good expansion. I don't know if it's a great expansion. I want to play it some more. Time allowing. Lots of games to play. Time. But yes, Turmoil. It was interesting. What else have we got going on? And I played a new Alexander Pfister game. I think it is Maracibo, which is kind of a bit of Great Western Trail. It's set in East Indies, I think, area around there. You've got like this pirate-ish theme. You've got your ship and you've got a board where you can kind of, a bit like Great Western Trail, that you can go around some islands with your little ship, and you've got different actions there. There's multi-use cards, engine builder, a bit of Terraforming Mars again. Lots and lots of options, lots of stuff, like a huge sandboxy Euro game. So this apparently is a hot thing out of Essen. I played it. I don't get it. I don't get where the hype's coming from. Great Western Trail I've played, and I quite enjoyed Great Western Trail. I mean, I'm not the world's massively biggest Euro fan. This is very heavy Euro. It's got a massively steep learning curve. There's so much stuff to teach at the very start of the game of what all this does. It's not colourblind friendly, which is not an issue I have personally, but I know there's a lot of people with that, so that makes a kind of a lunk-headed move to produce a game that does that. The graphic design and all that is initially just, what the hell is going on? And it took us about 45 minutes teaching to actually, before we could start playing. And I think now with the modern games coming out, stuff like Terraforming Mars or stuff like Godfather even comes to mind, or other stuff, games that you can get to the table, teach in a matter of minutes. Even Tapestry did a very good job of that. And get rolling with the game and sort of learn the strategies and play. There's a lot to be said for that in modern design, where we've moved on and stuff's happening. Well, this feels like just a stagger back to the dark ages, where you 45 minutes of teaching time and then people understanding, and are you getting all the rules right? And then they're just a big pile of options. I mean, every turn there is probably about 8 or 9 things you could conceivably do. I'm never playing this with Tony, but yeah, it is. It's all of that, and there's loads of mechanisms, and there's draft. There's all sorts of stuff going on there. Lots of multi-use cards, as I say. There's lots and lots. Too much stuff going on. I played it. I understood it. I get it. I'm playing it. I was left resoundingly with the situation of like, well, that's nice. No, at any point was I like, oh God, I really want to play that again. I was just left going, okay, that felt a little bit like hard work to get going. For what actually, once you're playing, is relatively straightforward. Nothing in it excited me. I was left kind of going, great, this is a hodgepodge, a selection box of Euro mechanisms, some of them heavy, some of them lighter, and stuff that we've seen before, doing all sort of different ways of doing stuff we've seen before, mixed about in a different way. it's just doing stuff we've seen before. Now, if you're a fan of that sort of stuff, I'm sure you're going to eat it up. You're going to love it, and people are. But yeah, I'm well, okay. It just felt like something that's going to get played. It's going to get raved about. It's going to get, whoa, this is the greatest thing ever, and then it's going to be gone. Give it 6 months, it's going to be gone, because it's not got the staying power. It's because people, unless you're really hardcore, going to be, it's something you're not going to get to the table very easy. You're not going to be able to teach it to people who haven't played that sort of stuff. I don't see it having any longevity at all. That's what I'm saying. Not that I have any opinion counts for anything, but yeah, I don't get it. It was all right. Yeah, I don't see the rave. So that happened. Oh, I'm exhausted. Subterra Tool. So if you've been to the Subterra 2 website of the Kickstarter that's running currently, you will see our logo is emblazoned upon it, because they said to us, would you like to review the game? And we said, well, most certainly. We'd love to review Subterra 2, as we enjoyed Subterra. It was great fun. A really good sort of claustrophobic, horror-y themed game. Really enjoyed that. It was in our Halloween top 10. Subterra 2 is more Indiana Jones, really. You're in a live volcano trying to run through into it, a bit escape the temple, find the artifact, and then once you've grabbed this, the whole volcano starts erupting. The tunnels full of lava, and you've got to get out. Very cool. Sounds really cool. So we want to review it. So, which is great. The issue is, we just got the game. Literally the other day turned up. The Kickstarter ends in a day, so it's very hard for us to review while the Kickstarter's going on. I will say, as a preview copy, I mean, it's a pucker-looking thing. I haven't even opened it yet. Some nice tiles. I mean, the component quality of a preview thing, a game is cracking. I can't fault it. Really thick punchboard stuff in there. Really nice tile art. I mean, all of this is lovely. I mean, I would, if I bought this in the shop, I would be like, well, it's more than sufficient. So who knows what the actual finished version is going to look like? It's probably going to be very cool. But yeah. And I will review it at some point. The issue is now is Kickstarter's kind of over. I do feel I like ITP games. I love what they do. I do like to support local UK talent, which we will attempt to do. Just, yeah, I need some time to do this stuff, guys. So it's there. It looks cool. At some point we will play it and we will look at it and we'll give you an opinion piece. I know that helps in no way whatsoever at the moment because the Kickstarter is ending. So all I can suggest is have a look and see if that floats your boat. I mean, the base level, which is what I've got here, looks like a fun game. But yeah, that's it. That's all I can give you in regards to that. So yes, we've neither given it a thumbs up. We've done nothing, basically. We've not played it. But Subterra 2, it is there. We will play at some point. So that's that. What else is coming up? A couple of weeks' time, I've got some time off work. What I'm hoping to do is get some more videos done. I'm hoping to get some reviews done. We get that Terraforming Mars stuff done, maybe. And some other bits. We want to do that Martin Wallace retrospective thingy as well. Again, time allowing. And my acquisition disorder, of course, kicked in. So I sold a bunch of old stuff that I wasn't really playing the other day. Dice Portsmouth, went down there. That's why I played Maracibo. Flogged some old stuff that I've not really been playing, and then probably ordered Nemesis base set because I've been a bit of buzz about Nemesis, and people have asked on the channel, could we do essentially a comparison piece between Lifeform, which we really enjoy, which is Alien, the ball game, and Nemesis, which appears to be more Aliens, the ball game. I've heard enough people I know that are really raved about Nemesis, so I've took the plunge. We shall see. Hopefully it'll be coming this week. Get a play of it soon, maybe even the weekend. It'd be kind of cool. So we'll look at that. We'll probably review that before we do anything else. I don't know. But yes, there will be, after I've had a chance to immerse myself in Nemesis, then yes, we will do that Nemesis Lifeform comparison piece. I have a feeling there's going to be quite difference to the games. One is Alien, one is Aliens, it's how it's feeling. But we'll see which one comes out on top after we look at both of them. That is it. This has rambled on forever. So there we go. That is Who Does Wells TV for the week of November the 14th or whatever it is. That is that done. Cool, so that leaves us at that point. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget you can subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, which use the subscribe button. There is also the Who Dares Rolls website, which has got some RPG stuff recently from Charlie. I will be some other stuff going up soon when I get a chance to sit down and do that. There is a Patreon account that you could give us pennies for, if that's a crazy idea. And there was something else that popped in my brain that was coming up that I was going to say to you that is subsequently dissipated. Oh yes, We're Not Wizards. So I recorded that the other day. That will be dropping soon. There's me and Richard from We're Not Wizards talked at length about nothing in particular, as suspected. But that will be coming. There was audio issues at the very start of it because someone hadn't plugged his proper mic in at that point in time. So it's a bit fuzzy at the beginning. So apologies for that if you do get around to listening to the episode. That's my fault. Yes, cool. I will be at Dragon Meet. I think Charlie's going to be at Dragon Meet, which is coming up in December, which is actually when I'm off. So yes, that was the reason why I was off. We're going along to that. It's a few weeks' time. That could be interesting. I've been to Dragon Meet for ages. And there we go. That's it. That's all the stuff. So that's us for the moment. Thank you for tuning in. Have a lovely week or whatever you're doing. And see you soon. Until then, adios. Thank you. Cheers.